Welcome to Radio 64. Welcome to Radio 64, Video Game Music Remix Radio. I'm your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as duskvstweak. Radio 64 is part of the Radio Meanwhile network. Visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. Share your thoughts on this episode and request music by following the show on Facebook or Twitter at Radio64Pod. And please rate, subscribe, and share this show on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. The track that we just opened the show with is called Running from Evil Horde by Evil Horde from ocremix.org from the game Doom 2, Hell on Earth. Part of the reason I picked that track is because I just replayed Doom 2016, and it has to be one of my favorite games of all time now, Doom 2016. At least, I have a list of top 50 games ever that I did because some forum I was in was asking for it. So I put together a Word document and went through all my favorite games. And I think Doom 2016 has to make that list. It's just so fun. It's brutal. It's gruesome. I don't think I have ever taken down demons as gleefully as I have in Doom 2016. It's pure adrenaline. The thing is that the game is an alpha predator. It's so shark-like in its focus. It's amazing. I'm definitely going to replay it again. I don't really replay games that much these days, so the fact that I went through the entire campaign in Doom for a second spin, I think already says a lot for my own taste there. So, and I'm going to play it again, on a higher difficulty. I got to get to Nightmare next, so that's going to be brutal. That opening track with this early 90s style electric guitar fingering is just so much fun. And that's the first map that you hear in Doom 2. Like the first Doom game, Doom 2 has a killer opening riff. Evil Horde has just made it even more so. I love it. Running from Evil Horde by Evil Horde from ocremix.org from the game Doom 2, Hell on Earth. Also excited for Doom Eternal. Up next, we have a Sonic the Hedgehog track from the first Sonic the Hedgehog, the 1991 game. It's in the style of, it's in the title, Euroclub 95, so it's definitely in the style of 90s club music. The bass coming in, Tronica dance, a bit trancy at times. The high notes are sparkly, the low notes shake the room. It goes for that club feel. I think it gets it. I've liked this track for a long time. It was one of the first tracks I ever discovered on Overclocked Remix. This is Green Hill Zone, Euroclub 95 mix by Rayza from ocremix.org from the game Sonic the Hedgehog. That was Green Hill Zone, Euroclub 95 mix by Rayza from ocremix.org from the game Sonic the Hedgehog. Also, I was slightly disappointed that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie wasn't terrible. I mean, I had a good time at it. I'm glad it was good, but I think I was also kind of hoping for just a terrible train wreck of a film. And it was serviceable. I had a good time. I'd suggest taking kids to see the movie. It was disappointingly alright. Way to go, Sonic the Hedgehog. You're not as bad as the Super Mario Brothers movie. We have a Legend of Zelda mix. I think this is the first time we featured any music from Skyward Sword, though. A game I haven't played yet, mainly because I'm terrified of the Wiimote controls in any Nintendo Wii game. So I haven't gotten to this one yet. And this mix is a pretty peaceful. It's a peaceful, quiet mix. You've got bells in there. You've got harp. You got piano. It's relaxing, very stream-like in its sound, very natural. I don't think there's an electric instrument within 50 miles of this song. This is Hidden Shrines by RebeccaETripp, TPR, from ocremix.org from the game The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. That was Hidden Shrines by RebeccaETripp and TPR from ocremix.org from the game The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Actually, the next Zelda game I need to play is Twilight Princess. I got a GameCube version of that game because, like I said, I didn't want to use the Wiimote. Only recently did I play Wind Waker, about a year ago. I'm slowly making my way through the Zelda games again. Loved the series as a kid and a teenager, from like the first game to Majora's Mask, and then when I switched over to the PS2, that means I didn't get Wind Waker, so I kind of fell off the Zelda train. So luckily there's still lots of Zelda games out there for me to play now, so I got those to look forward to. So again, Hidden Shrines by RebeccaETripp, TPR from ocremix.org, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Recently, Overclocked Remix put out an album called Shonen Remix Jump, which was a album dedicated to video game music within the games based on Shonen Jump properties, so One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The track we have here is from One Piece. It's a synth piece with a lot of Eastern elements in there. Reminds me of some of the battle music I hear, or again, because I've recently played Kingdom Hearts too, the Kingdom Hearts music. It's an exciting piece that has a lot of lovely elements in it. So this is Sky Treasure by Guifrog from OC Remix's album Shonen Remix Jump from the game One Piece Grand Adventure. That was Sky Treasure by Guifrog from OC Remix's album Shonen Remix Jump from the game One Piece Grand Adventure. But yeah, I really like that music, and I think I'm slightly unfamiliar with Guifrog and his music, which is funny because we have another piece by him coming up later, and I didn't do that on purpose. It just happens. But yeah, that Sky Treasure song, it kind of has an icy feel to it, which I think I like. It has a wintry vibe, especially with those opening notes. The next song is a heavy rock piece. It's kind of a slow and heavy rock piece, like a stalking piece. But then later on in it, the guitar starts showing off and it becomes kind of exciting again. And this is from Shadow Heart's Covenant. I didn't really know about the Shadow Hearts game at all until somebody I watch on Twitch. Shout out to Dreamy Warrior 00. You should definitely check him out if you like JRPGs. He was playing the Shadow Hearts games, and they look so cool. At least the first game. He was playing the first Shadow Hearts, and it looked like this dark, weird JRPG that I think I would have loved growing up. And so now I need to find a PS2 copy of it, though last time I found one at a Retro Game Con, it was $70. I gotta keep my eyes out. If you see any real cheap, let me know. This is Astaroth's Awakening by the Dual Dragons from OC Remix's album Badass from the game Shadow Heart's Covenant. That was Astaroth's Awakening by the Dual Dragons from OC Remix's album Badass from the game Shadow Heart's Covenant. Yes, and I should have said a while ago, this album specifically, Badass, is a collection of boss themes. And I think most of them are in a heavier rock style. Not all of them, a darker sound, these tracks. And this one is one I haven't really listened to before, but because it's the Shadow Hearts thing and I've been researching that a little bit, I really like that track. So, there you go, Shadow Hearts Covenant. Another JRPG that is on my list to play, but good luck to me finding a copy of it under $50. Either the Dreamcast version or the GameCube version, Skies of Arcadia. This track is kind of a cool, funky piece. I think it has, and it's got a little bit of hip-hop in there, but it also has kind of these dark, ambient sounds in the background working there as well. It's a cool piece. And this is Guifrog as well, so I guess this is kind of his style, these cool synth that kind of have more of a slow, methodical beat to it. So, this is Brain Sound Tilt by Guifrog from OC Remix from the game Skies of Arcadia. That was Brain Sound Tilt by Guifrog from ocremix.org from the game Skies of Arcadia. You can actually find that song on their album Arcadia Legends, which is a Skies of Arcadia remix album, tribute album. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep my ears open for more songs by this by Guifrog. Thanks for some chill listening right there. Sorry I said chill. This is a Donkey Kong Country 2 remix. We haven't had Donkey Kong Country 2 in a while, right? Back in the early days, I think I had Donkey Kong Country 2 at least every other episode. So this is the Bayou Boogie track by David Wise from the original Donkey Kong Country 2. It's called Tricky Swamp Style. It's an electronic synth piece. It's dark, it's foreboding, but it's funky and it's fun. It's got sound samples of the of Diddy Kong. There's something about this mix a bit upsetting at times. I don't know. Maybe for those who haven't played Donkey Kong Country 2, this won't make any sense. That swamp music, it's a bit spooky at times. There you go. The spooky synth, at least to me. Maybe that just means I'm a baby. So, Tricky Swamp Style by Heath Morris from ocrmx.org from the game Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. That was Tricky Swamp Style by Heath Morris from ocrms.org from the game Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. We have another heavy rock piece. So this one I feel is a little bit more rooted in the 80s. But again, this is very much kind of that slow, methodical, heavy rock, kind of a stalking feeling. It's from the dungeon music from the game that it's from. So, there's the spooky dungeon music. It's from the game Terranigma, which I only recently discovered was a thing because I don't think it ever came stateside. But yeah, OC Remix put out an album a while ago called Paths Less Traveled, a Terranigma tribute album, so that's where this track comes from. Heavier rock than I normally listen to, but about the minute mark of 1:15, the guitar starts singing a bit, and that's when my ears perk up. So this is From the Depths of the Dungeon by That Headband Guy from OC Remix's album Paths Less Traveled from the game Terranigma. That was From the Depths of the Dungeon by That Headband Guy from OC Remix's album Paths Less Traveled from the game Terranigma. JRPGs used to be the genre of choice for me. I mean, I played my Final Fantasies, and on the PS2, I picked up like Dark Cloud and Xenosaga, and again, Kingdom Hearts, Disgaea. If it was a JRPG, I was definitely going to put it on my wish list, and now there's just so many. I don't know if I'll ever get to them. I won't get to them all. That I can promise. Now we have a remix from the game PaRappa the Rappa. So that's where the vocals are coming from if you've never played the game, but you can hear the Master Onions being sampled here saying, now we're getting better kick chop. This is fun. It's another synth piece, so it feels more a little bit like the electronic scene that was coming from the 80s. The artist here, Anti-Syne, kind of has a dark quality to his tracks. The synth beats I've listened to him, they always have this very danceable beat to them, but they also have a kind of a dark soundscape. This is A Lesson from Teacher by Anti-Syne from ocrmx.org from the game PaRappa the Rappa. That was A Lesson from Teacher by Anti-Syne from ocremix.org from the game PaRappa the Rappa. I love that intro, the slow build of that intro, and then the way that, I guess the verse kind of rubber bands around itself. It kind of stretches out and then comes back in. It's such a cool sound. So, and now we have a very happy Mario Kart 64 track. I mean, that's what Mario Kart music is, right? It's just happy music. I mean, unless you're playing like the Bowser levels, but even then. It's funny because listening to the music, and I'm not super familiar with Mario Kart 64. I kind of skipped over that one and went over to Double Dash. But this is from the Victory Lap, and while listening to the track without knowing that, I really did feel like it sounds victorious. It sounds like a big congratulatory piece, almost from a parade. I mean, it's just that it has this piano going throughout, and then it becomes this big orchestral piece. And it really feels like a track that's heart is just right on its sleeve. It's just such a happy, joyful, celebratory piece that has nothing but love to give. This is Day's End by Soul Signal and Tweex from ocremix.org from the game Mario Kart 64. That was Day's End by Soul Signal and Tweex from ocremix.org from the game Mario Kart 64. Just a really lovely piece there. Almost too pure of a piece of music for this world. But it's a track we need, I feel like. That was the last track of this episode. So thank you for listening to Radio 64, Video Game Music Remix Radio. I'm your host, Eric Mickles, also known online as duskvstweak. Radio 64 is part of Radio's Meanwhile Network. You can visit radiomeanwhile.com for more information about this and other great podcasts. Share your thoughts on this episode and request music by following the show on Facebook or Twitter at Radio64Pod. And please rate, subscribe, and share this show on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast. See you next episode.